Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Cook with Ron. Today we're going to be making chicken kebabs. Now, this is called actually Jujeh Kebab. My wife is Persian, and I learned quite a bit of stuff regarding Persian cuisine and some of the stuff they use. So it's not this is not a video on authentic Jujeh Kebab. It's like my take on it. So some of the stuff may not be 100% legit, but at the end of the day, it still tastes good. So I hope you guys like it. So first off, I have some boneless, skinless chicken thighs that I trimmed a little bit, just cut off a little bit of the fat off of them, and I'm marinating it in saffron water. Now, in order to make saffron water, you obviously need saffron, and I get mine from actually Amazon. This is a Spanish saffron. Obviously, the Persian saffron is a higher quality, and but this stuff works pretty well. Has been approved by my mother-in-law, who is much more adept at Persian cooking than I am. So she said it's actually a very good quality saffron. So this is called let me see what this is. I got this off Amazon. It was like $30. Gathering of saffron. And if I could get a link of it, I bought it a while ago. If I could find a link of it, I'll post it on the in the description. But yeah, it smells very good. I grind it down a little bit. I take it out of the bag. Let me just show you here. It comes in this little thing here. See, I still have so much left of it because you only need a little bit. It goes a very long way. So a couple of pinches of that. Put that in the mortar pestle here. Hold on one second. Let me just put the phone down for a second. I'll be right back. So in there right now is probably like a half teaspoon of saffron. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grind that down and get it into kind of like a fine powder. You want to increase that surface area so you maximize, when you add your hot water, you're going to maximize that surface area and get the most flavor out of the saffron and smell. One of the main things with saffron is the smell, as well as the color. Obviously you want a nice deep red color, orangish color, but the smell is equally as important. So when you're going to basically just grind this down as best as you can, get into like a powder, and I'm going to fill this, not all the way up, but maybe like halfway up with some hot water. Let that steep for about 5 to 10 minutes and add that to the chicken. Now, obviously saffron is very expensive, and I do this step first to minimize any dilution of the saffron water once you add all the other ingredients. So let it sit in the chicken for a few minutes. So I've done this step already, but I'm just kind of showing you so you get a visual of it. But let it sit in the chicken for a good half hour to an hour before you add your other ingredients. So that way the chicken gets that color. All right, okay, I'm just gonna show you real quick. I'm gonna add the hot water to it. And just let that kind of steep for a few minutes. And what I'm gonna do is, this is extra, so why not? I'm just gonna add it. I'm just gonna add it to my chicken that I have already prepared here. And let that sit for a little bit longer. Now, I have a few people coming over today, as well as, obviously my family likes this chicken too. So I have about a little over 6 pounds of chicken here. It's quite a bit. So I probably made about a solid cup of saffron water. So just so you know, for a pound, I guess you need a few ounces per pound, but you need a good amount to coat the chicken thoroughly. So I'm going to let that sit, and then we'll get back to the other ingredients. Okay, so I just pulled the chicken out of the fridge. It's been sitting in the fridge for about an hour. So you see it took up most of that red coloring. So now I'm going to add my spice mixture and whatever else I need. So here I have salt, pepper, dill, dry dill, and paprika. This is about six and a half pounds of chicken. I use a half a teaspoon of salt per pound. So I'm going to use about 3 teaspoons of salt. I use a quarter teaspoon of black pepper per pound. So here's about about 1.5 teaspoons of pepper, 1.5 teaspoons of paprika, and then 1 teaspoon of the dry dill. And then I use a little bit of yogurt as a binder. And then you use a lot of limes and lemons. So I have about 5 limes cut into quarters here and 1 lemon cut into quarters. Usually I use just lemons, maybe a little bit of lime, but I don't have much lemons at home, so I'm using mostly lemons this time. Traditionally, I think the Persians use lime juice or Persian lime juice. I don't have access to that, so you can use fresh limes or fresh lemons. It's still going to be fine. So This looks like a lot, but it gives part of the taste. A little bit of sourness to the chicken is what makes it Jujeh Kebab. And this is not traditional, the paprika, and also the dill, I think. But I feel like it adds some flavor to it. So I'm gonna mix that all up. Let me just throw these in there. Throw those in there. And then I'm gonna squeeze out all this stuff. Make sure you don't put the seeds in there, obviously. And then I'm gonna put maybe about, there's a lot of chicken, so I'm gonna need about 3 tablespoons of yogurt. And then we'll mix that all up. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm just mixing everything up. I put a little, right around 4 tablespoons of yogurt in there because this is quite a lot of chicken. And you just make sure you mix that all up really, really good. I added all the limes and lemon juice. I kept a couple pieces of the limes left over. It's quite a bit, so I think I should be okay. And also, as you're eating it, if you want more sour, you could add some. You could sprinkle some lime juice or lemon juice on it. So let me just mix that up really good, and then basically, I'm just gonna skewer them. I have some metal skewers that I use, and throw them on the grill. And it's really, really easy, really quick. And somewhat healthy. You're using chicken thighs. Obviously it's not red meat. So, and I like using thigh because it makes for a little juicier kebab versus the breast. Obviously you could use breast, just have to be careful about drying it out when you're cooking it. It's a little tougher. I feel like the chicken thighs are a little more forgiving, especially on the grill. So, just gonna give that a mix. Throw it in the refrigerator and make sure you marinate it for a couple hours. Skewer them up, and I'll show you that part when I get there. Okay, I took it out of the fridge. It's marinating for about 2 hours now. And you can see this is the batch that's the Jujeh Kebab batch. This is the plain. This just has salt, pepper, a little bit of yogurt as a binder. And you can see the difference in color. You see this has a nice orange color to it. And this has just, it's gonna be like a regular chicken kebab. So some folks like the plain. They don't like the Jujeh, so I make a separate batch for that. But anyway, I'm gonna skewer these up and throw them on the grill. We're not doing Blackstone today. We're actually gonna use a regular grill for this because it just comes out better. The Blackstone does have limitations, and this is one of them. I feel like the grill works better for this kind of food. So, for this kind of cooking. So, obviously the Blackstone will work, but it does a different kind of cooking, kind of sears the meat, and the inside doesn't get cooked as much. You have to constantly watch it. I feel like the grill, because of the way it cooks with the convection type of heating, the kebabs come out a little bit better on it. So I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so this is how it looks all skewered up. I have the plain over here, and I have the Jujeh Kebab here. Also, we make always some tomato, squash, and hot peppers, and serve that with some rice, and it comes out pretty good. So I'm gonna throw these on the grill. I'll be right back. Okay, so I got the veggies going first. I threw on a couple of skewers just to show you guys. So basically what I do is, after about a minute, I flip them, and then the other minute I flip them again, and I let it cook through. Chicken takes up a good 10-12 minutes on total cook time, and you could kind of see the doneness by feel if you just press on the meat a little bit and see how stiff it is. Pretty much that'll give you an indication of how done it is. But yeah, that's basically it. So we basically cook these up. We serve it with veggies, some tomatoes, some rice, a little bit of butter, and you get a good meal out of it. It's pretty healthy, and yeah, it's a little bit it's a lot healthier actually than the smash burgers, but they equally taste just as good. So hope you enjoyed this video. I'll show you the final product when it's done. Quick clip. Pretty much the zucchini squash is almost done. Got a nice little char on those. A couple more minutes, and I just put this batch on now, and I'll give them a quick clip. They've been on for a couple of minutes, so basically it's I don't know if I really need to show you guys how to do this part, but just flip them every couple of minutes, make sure they're cooked all the way through, and you're pretty much done. Also, in case anyone was wondering, I'm cooking these on medium high. So so far they've been going for about, I don't know, 7-8 minutes so far. They're getting there, but they're still a little squishy. So once they start to stiffen up, that's kind of an indicator that they're almost done. So these are getting there, but it's still got a ways to go. So maybe another 5-6 more minutes, and these should be done. I'll pull them off, and I'll show you the final products. Thanks. Okay guys, so this is the final product. I just pulled these off the grill. As you can see, they're, still juicy. You can see the juice literally like coming through the meat right there. They're done. They have the stiffness that I like, and they're great with some rice. Obviously we have the veggies here. Mix it all up. It makes a nice healthy meal. Hope you guys enjoy. Thanks very much.